I feel like all our projects start at this table.
Why? Where'd you like me to start?
I don't know. I just feel like you've lost some creativity. Hey, I don't have goggles on! Okie dokie. So, in case you missed our last video, I was accepted to go and compete on American Ninja Warrior, and because of this fact, some of the producers wanted me to bring some of our puzzle boxes for the announcers to fiddle with while I ran the course. Since that episode has already aired, it would probably be best if we explained how our little box befuddled the great Matt Eisman and Akbar Bajimijmila. So starting out, we began like we always do, and began on our first locking mechanism that is reliant on gravity and a counterweight system. Essentially, this lock is rather straightforward, as the two discs that you see us making here have hollowed out portions that allow them to stay in a fixed position until rotated parallel to the ground. Next, we began working on the framing of the box in its entirety. Now, the shape of the box that might remind most of you of the Superman insignia, but it's actually made to look like the emblem from ANW. Not sure if the shape is copyrighted, but it's too late for that. Because the lid of the box needed to slide horizontally, we had to put some dados in the sides that were about a ½ inch in width. And for the bottom of the box, we nailed a thin piece of 1/4 inch plywood to the back to cut down on the weight of this thing because, fully constructed, this thing is really hefty. Anyone wondering how to make your piece smaller? This is not... this is not by the books. What'd you do? Okay.
Go put this back. Yeah.
That's how it's done, I suppose. It helps to load it with some nails. Sorry guys, Dad just got off work. He's a little rusty. For the second lock on the box, we resorted to using our trusty magnet lock that would be seated on the right side of the box near the back end of the lid. The tricky thing with this setup though is that the magnet lock is really only designed to lock a lid if it is in a straight line with the plastic wedge that comes with the kit. Here though, we had to slightly modify the wedge so that the mechanism could still work when placed perpendicular to the lock. Now it was at this point that we started to rethink the design of our gravity locks, because we realized that we weren't just making this for your average Joe, but rather your average Akbar. No, not that Akbar, this Akbar. Being that both Matt and Akbar are considerably strong men, we decided that it would be best if we remade the locks out of steel rather than wood.
It just would work better.
You don't have to yell.
What? I can crack.
Alright, you're gonna say whatever when I say this, but that seems like a redneck idea.
Are you making fun of hillbillies?
Yes.
That's
Yes, I am.
terrible. You know you're calling yourself a hillbilly.
Nah, not really. I'm actually
Yeah.
calling you a hillbilly because you wanna stick the bit in there as the rod.
Yeah, but you're my son. If I'm a hillbilly, that makes you.
That only makes me half a hillbilly.
It's even worse. That means you got half a brain.
At least I got half. You lost all yours.
Well, where'd you?
I got the other half from Mom. You don't got none.
Oh, Mom's not a hillbilly?
Absolutely not. Mom's culture.
Alright.
One overlooked aspect of our gravity locks that we originally didn't see was that while the metal semicircles were suspended on the dowel, they needed to be fixed in the north to south directions, but still be allowed to rotate on the axis of the dowel. If we didn't solve this problem, then the locks would end up binding and not functioning correctly. So to remedy this problem, we added some washers and large nuts to fit in between the locks to keep them permanently separated. Alright guys, this is test drive number 1. It's already stuck, what do you know? I hate this part of the project. Alright, so let's try it again.
Okay, so they gotta figure this out. Then you're gonna have
Nope,
to.
they have the right first.
Yep.
Like,
See?
okay, there's
Right.
one. Now. What? That was so seamless. Good job. I mean, I kind of just watched most of the time. At the time of me recording this audio, I have no idea what they showed on television, but during my run, Akbar managed to bypass the magnet lock without even knowing it. If we would have tried Akbar's method of vigorously shaking the box beforehand, we might have actually caught the fact that the magnet lock had a rather loose switch that would permanently keep the lock in the open position. We fixed this problem after my run with a simple strip of tape that went over this switch, but if he would have solved the box the intended way, he would have had to find this small magnet hidden in one of the dots on top of the box.